Developing this morning at 6:02, President Obama sees hope in Syria with diplomatic steps, but he is holding firm the U.S. keep military pressure on that country.
If we fail to act, the Assad regime will see no reason to stop using chemical weapons.
In his address to the country last night, the president said diplomacy holds, quote, the potential to remove the threat of chemical weapons in Syria without the use of force. Also vowing U.S. military will be ready to strike against the president of that country, Bashar al-Assad's government, if this diplomacy fails. The commander-in-chief is ordering the U.S. military to maintain its current posture to see if Syria will follow through on Russia's plan for Damascus, the capital there, to turn over all of its chemical weapons. But the president warned the clock is ticking. In fact, the Senate put off indefinitely a vote authorizing the use of force that is at the president's request. Now take a look at this. 61% of Americans are against a military strike. Only 30% are for it. We'll have much more on the latest with Syria and a recap of the president's address coming up in about a half hour. Well, it was 12 years ago this morning that America stopped dead in its tracks and watched in horror as the World Trade Centers crumbled. It was an unprecedented act of orchestrated terrorism, which included an attack on the Pentagon and another terrorist-commanded flight ditched by heroic passengers willing to die rather than see another American landmark attacked. There are many ceremonies and commemorations in honor of that day that changed our world forever. First, a special tribute in Rio Rancho will bring the memory in the morning quite close to home. The Daniels Family Funeral Services will be hosting a big memorial service tonight, and hundreds of people are expected to go. The funeral director tells us it's the biggest 9/11 memorial service in the whole state. Now look at this. The yard outside the funeral home is covered with American flags, one for everyone who died in the attacks on 9/11. There's also this large bronze plaque that honors the 3 cities attacked on 9/11 and 2 structures for each of the Twin Towers in New York. There will be a high school choir, local chaplains giving prayer, a fire bell ringing ceremony, a dove release, and a candle lighting ceremony. It's a setup that was started back in 2008 by the founder of the funeral home, and it was constructed to give honor to those who died, give hope and courage to those who continue to protect us, firefighters, police officers, rescue folks, military, and their families. Some members of the funeral home here themselves experienced a big loss on 9/11.
We want a physical action. We want people to feel included and have them feel that they have many ways to express the way they feel and the way they want to continue to honor and remember that day.
You are welcome to go to the memorial service tonight in Rio Rancho. It starts at 6. It's at 4310 Sarah Road Drive. There is also a 9/11 ceremony today at 10:45 at Civic Plaza in downtown Albuquerque. There's a fallen firefighter ceremony at the New Mexico Firefighters Training Academy in Socorro. That's at 8 this morning. And in Santa Fe, Fire Station number 4 at 1130 Arroyo Chamizo Road is showing off its new digs in a 9/11 memorial open house. That goes from 10 to noon today. You can also get more at our website, krqe.com. Well, at 6:05 now, Katie's Law is working to help solve crimes here in New Mexico. In fact, the governor's office announced just yesterday there have now been 500 DNA matches connecting suspects to unsolved cases. The law is named after the young lady you just saw, Katie Sepich, a graduate from NMSU who was raped and murdered in 2003. Katie's Law allows DNA to be collected for anyone simply arrested for a felony before the trial goes to court. Now, her killer was caught after submitting a DNA sample that was after he was convicted of burglary 3 years later. Her family says that man could have been caught much earlier with the law. 25 other states have now followed suit and now have that law, and Congress has put money aside to help keep the databases. Well, now just in time for Balloon Fiesta, a law firm in Albuquerque is advertising its new specialty, hot air balloon crashes. Every year, Balloon Fiesta sees some close calls. It leads to a broken bone or two. Sometimes, unfortunately, it goes beyond just a close call. In fact, in the past 40 years, a dozen people who've gone up in balloons during the Fiesta have died. But the Dane law firm insists this new specialty of theirs is about more than just making money.
Some of the greatest leaps and bounds in aviation history in terms of passenger safety have come from litigation over crashes. It's sometimes the only thing that spurs new regulations or new and fresh ideas about how to fly safely.
Some Balloon Fiesta crashes have resulted in big payouts. A jury said the pilot in this flight back in 2009 was reckless and Balloon Fiesta was negligent. The passenger was awarded nearly $4 million. However, that verdict is being appealed. Well, a warning for you now about a robocall scheme offering cheaper auto insurance rates. The calls claim to be coming from the New Mexico Motor Vehicle Division, but the problem is that thing doesn't sell insurance. MVD has gotten numerous complaints about this automated message. It is investigating where these calls are coming from, but it recommends if you get a call, do not call the number back that could be left on your voicemail. 607, one high school in Albuquerque is about to become a one-stop shop for learning and healthcare. West Mesa High School is being declared a community school through the Unidos project. As part of the project, the school gets a grant to provide students the opportunity to get their education and their health needs all in one place. This includes counseling and social services, dental care, and physicals. Well, it looks like a child has contracted the plague in Torrance County. Another one, if confirmed. Health officials say it's likely the second case in the county this year and in the entire country. This girl is 11 years old, and health workers will be investigating her home to look for signs of the plague. Last month, a 15-year-old boy, also from Torrance County, got the disease. Health workers say fleas infected by rodents are the main cause of the plague.